Today, I'm going to talk about the energy situation. Because Bushiroad is doing one awful thing with energy and doing one awesome thing with energy. So let's talk about both. Now, did you know the 50 cards Black Friday sale is going on, which means you can get like insane free stuff on every order? How about you go to 50cards.shop and use the code Solemn and just buy like everything you need for Vanguard. Link will be in the description. Use the code Solemn. Because swear to God if you don't. So I learned about energy. Pretty cool stuff. And I have an issue with it, and that is that it's super free. So it just like, it adds up. You can't really deny it. And a lot of new skills are having that as a cost, but it's undeniable, so it just happens. And I felt like Overdress already had this issue kinda where everything just happens no matter what, because the ride deck ensures that you can't really brick, and you will always get the exact cards you need to get all of your mechanics live, and you will always have your correct grade 3 ride. So it kind of is like step 1, step 2, step 3, and it just happens. You're kind of being forced through this auto dialogue kind of, I feel, with Overdress a little too much because of the ride deck. And this energy thing kind of just makes that worse, because now your resource that you used to have to balance, Counterblast, is less important because you have another resource that you don't have to balance. It just goes up automatically. Your opponent doesn't need to change it. You don't need to think like, oh, should I guard this? But then he might deny me, but I'm going to be higher damage, but I kind of want to... You don't have to think about that. It's just going up. So that is an issue I have with energy, but that is something that I think they can design around. I think gradually they might be able to do cool stuff with it. Maybe there's like a grade 0, 1, 2, 3 kind of thing that says whenever this is on the Vanguard circle, you don't get energy, but you get something else. Or maybe there's a card that says when this is on the Vanguard circle, you get hella energy, and then has some other drawback, and you can, you can do interesting stuff with that. Maybe there's a card that says like pay 12 energy, so that means if you don't pay any energy through the game, there are certain cards you can't use like cyclers, but maybe this broken effect makes that worth it. Stuff like that can be done with energy. So I think there's cool things that can be done with it. An issue that I do have with energy, and that is really fixable, is why the fuck is it not in premium? Premium right now needs more support. As we know, we want to have a new set. Bushiroad, listen to me, please. I know we're not the best friends. We have not always been the best friends, at least, but sometimes we have been friends. I can't give good examples right now. No, I've talked up Bad Bounty so much. I gave you that Bad Bounty reveal. It was a great video. Everybody talks about it. They say, Mr. Solemn, your Bad Bounty video was so good. It was amazing. Wasn't it amazing, folks? Anyway, so we've been friends sometimes, but please listen for this once. Please listen. Premium set, no support. You can even just design it with the English team. Don't give it to Japan if you don't want to. I would like you to want to, but if you don't want to, just give it to English. It's good enough. We will buy it. I will personally sign the lease. We will buy it. But if you don't want to, if you don't wish to make a premium set for some reason, I don't understand why, but if you don't, add energy. It's so easy. It's just a rule change, and suddenly all of your new D support becomes more premium friendly. I know some people are coping that D cards never work in premium, yet every fucking other year I am suddenly topping with D cards in my deck, so surely they work somehow. Sometimes they're a little not powerful enough, but D will power creep, and so it will catch up to premium, and gradually more and more D cards will work in premium. So if you make it so the energy cards work in premium, that'll be good. It means less people will be angry at you for not making a premium set. It's that easy. It's one rule change. One rule change, less people will be angry. It's so simple. I'm not even charging you for this consultation. You're welcome. But jokes aside, so just do that. That's my major issue. So this is the one way I think Bushiroad can do better. Just put in energy into premium. We're one rule change away. Really, it's not that hard. Secondly, though, where Bushiroad is doing something incredible with energy is this new pricing. The energy generator for now has been quite a bombshell. Now, I will always be the first to say I don't give a damn about pricing. I think that if you're playing a card game hoping to live off it because of pricing, I don't know what to tell you. And you can say, oh, but what about One Piece? If you can't see what a speculative bubble is, I can't really help you. Yes, there will be people who can live off card games, here and there at specific points in times. But in general, you probably won't. If you're going to be a content creator, you can. But if you're going to try to live off pricing, it's just not particularly realistic. There's going to be very, very few people who do. And the ones ones who do will usually do it in like a specific moment in time where pricing is very expensive because of literally just speculators. No intrinsic value or anything like that. Lorcana, similar stuff, you know, there's going to be points in time where you can absolutely make money off card games. However, this is the big but, you know, we love big buts on the Solemn Vanguard channel, but here's the big but. This now energy generator is doing very well for them. And so despite me saying, oh, you shouldn't be trying to live off card games, it's very silly, it's not particularly realistic, it's a ridiculous standard to set, especially for smaller companies like Bushiroad, they really cooked with this one. I'm going to read you a post from a pretty cool vendor I know, Mad Gideon. He's saying, I get it's kind of played out at this point to talk about how terrible Yu-Gi-Oh's pricing is for premier events, and it is. But I just got back from a 500 player Cardfight Vanguard regional that people were paying $800 for the promo you got for making top 32. So this was, you know, the new energy generator with the girl. The entry promos were doing One Piece numbers, like between $40 and $200. Okay. I was honestly really impressed. It was a seller's market too. People were getting their throats cut trying to buy these. So I find this very interesting because for a long time we know Bushiroad pricing wasn't that great. It was like you entered and you got nothing, which is fine. It's a free event. I don't care. And then you would get top 8, you would get a mat, which is fine, you know, cool, you top. And then top 3 would get a trophy if you were playing in the base seasons and a medal if you weren't. No offense, you know, I got more medals than trophies, so I was not playing in the base seasons either, not enough at least. But the trophies were so dope. Like, this is my 3rd place Worlds trophy. This is a cool trophy. We should go back to these. More on that later. But anyway, like, trophies, really sick. Medals, not so much, but better than nothing. Top 8 mats, fine, whatever. Top 4 got nothing, you know, just a certificate. And then 1st place got the prize card. That was mostly usually like the setup. And that setup was fine, but it wasn't amazing, and people were crying about it. You know, people were saying, oh, this is pretty bad. Especially then when One Piece and games like it came onto the market and started giving like promos that then sold for crazy prices. But now see where that is kind of like a skewed situation, because those were just promos anyway. Those were just cardboard. The only reason they were going for ridiculous prices was because of speculators going, oh, One Piece is a really big franchise. I'm going to pay lots of money for this really rare One Piece card because one day I can sell it for more. It's literally just that. It's literally just another speculative bubble. Can be a long-term one. I don't give a fuck. But so it's not like their pricing was great. You know, their pricing was just banking on the franchise. Now, with that being said, you know, Bushiroad and other games could do the same thing and bank better on their franchise. And for a long time, Bushiroad kind of didn't. Yu-Gi-Oh still doesn't. You know, that's a really big debacle there, where, you know, you can top a YCS of 3,000 players and walk out with like a Nintendo Switch. Those kind of memes are huge there, and One Piece, you know, was playing really well on that. A lot of people swapped to One Piece because of that pricing situation. And Vanguard, we all just expected them not to fix that. You know, we expected them to just be doing the same thing they always have, because for a long time it was just the same year after year after year. So they came out with this new structure where top 16 or top 32, depending on the size, started getting these now or whatever markers, and these blew the hell up. These are selling for so much, because not only does every deck need some kind of energy thingy, and there weren't that many options for high rarity ones, but also people go crazy for this girl. So it was like, whoa, waifu tax plus high rarity plus not many high rarity options just yet, and you got, boom, a really great promo. And we're seeing these events cap like crazy. Now, I don't know if the events are capping because the game is doing so well, just that, or if the now generator thing, you know, is also brewing some hype. Whatever it is, it's working. Now, beyond that, they also have been doing other pricing things, like top 4 now gets the prize card, which is a pretty cool incentive. And then also they made the top cut structure slightly bigger. So it used to be where you would go X1 and you made it into top cut, top 8. And then if you were X2, fuck off. There would be like one person maybe making it in on X2, or maybe 2. Now a lot more X2s are making it in, so a lot more people are getting pricing. So there's a lot more people incentivized to either come, and then if they came, also play a bunch. So overall, they just, I don't know, they cooked, apparently. Now I will say one final thing on that note, top 16, top 32, I've been known to not like that too much because I think this game is best of one right now, and so you keep on making it to where you have more and more ways to get destroyed in single elimination. What do I mean by that? Let's say you used to have 8 rounds and then a top 8, right? That's just an example. Back in 8 rounds, top 8. If you went 8-0, you made it to top cut, and then you had to play 3 games to win the tournament. Now, in your first run of 8 games, you could have lost 1. And that's reasonable because it's a card game. There's going to be variance. It's best of 1. So variance is really going to impact, your opponent hitting some kind of over trigger randomly. GG, I guess, but that's your 1 loss. You were allowed the 1 loss. So you go 7-1 and then you have your 3 wins. 2 of which, if you win those back to back, you're already at least making it to Worlds. So that was the previous structure. This new structure, you have 7 rounds of Swiss, and then suddenly you have your top 16 or maybe even top 32. What does that mean? Sure, you could have gone 7-0, but now you kind of play a second tournament where you need to go 4-0 or maybe even 5-0 because you are not afforded that 1 loss. You getting over trigger sacked in round 8 in the previous thing was fine. You were now 7-1. You were still making it to top cut. You were allowed to get sacked at once. You're a good player, so you're consistent. Now you go forward and so forth. Cool. Now, not only do you have to play almost the same amount of rounds as before, but now you have to dodge being sacked 2 extra rounds. So if you're in top 32, you were undefeated all day, by the way. Top 32, you're the highest seed player. You're going against the lowest seed player. Mind you, in the last structure, they would have scrubbed out hard. They would not have been close to topping before, right? So people who were consistently scrubbing out in the previous version of the tournaments are suddenly getting tops. You face this person because you're seed 1 and you're going against seed 32. They hit that over trigger. GG, you're fucking out. Even though you were undefeated, you're out now. That is a ridiculous system. And you could say, oh, but previously this was already the case, first against 8. Yes, it's still not ideal, but it was only 3 rounds where you could get sacked. Now it's 5, right? So the way Pokemon fixes that and many other kinds of games is a asymmetrical top cut. Meaning when you are undefeated or just very high seed in Swiss, you enter the top cut with a bye. Meanwhile, people who were very low seeded because they didn't do that well in Swiss, but at least well enough to top, they now have to duke it out to then get the privilege of facing you, let's say, and get into that true top cut. So asymmetrical cut is kind of the in-between system that allows you to have a bigger top cut, that everyone with the same amounts of losses and wins at least makes it in, but you're still not auto-destroying people who went undefeated and then got unlucky. So that is something that I would at least try to see fixed in top 16 and top 32. This is kind of a tangent, by the way, but I just really wanted to talk about it. But beyond that, the system seems to be working well. People are loving these new energy generators, and I guess Bushiroad cooked. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about. We have a 2-tiered discussion with energy, basically. First of all, they cooked. Well done on the pricing. Secondly, they didn't really cook enough. Give energy to premium. That easy. That was my talk. I hope you found this interesting. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.